Hello there. Hi, this is Sonny Singh here, and I am a complementary alternative medicine therapist and coach. And I specialize in helping my clients to achieve breakthrough results in whatever they're going through at the moment. And I'm doing these live presentations, and this is the third one that I've done so far. I did one on depression, and the second one was anxiety, and this particular broadcast is going to focus on fear, and with particular regards to the context that we're in right now, which is the coronavirus pandemic. So, in terms of fear, fear is an unwanted feeling and emotion, and it's almost as if we feel as though that we're under threat. And even though fear is a perception of reality, what's ironic about fear is that it can become our reality. That all we feel is worry and dread, feeling extremely scared and frightened. And I would not be lying to you if I said to you that I wasn't frightened or scared or fearful of the present, of the future, in the light of what's happened worldwide with the impact of this coronavirus fully unraveling itself. So in this particular video, what I'm really going to do is I'm going to go through some techniques on how you could actually try to manage that fear or even conquer it, or at the very least, to take the edge away from it. In terms of fear, fear really, um, it kind of puts us in a situation where we see a situation, or we become aware of something. And I know that this can ordinarily happen when we hear things from people, conversations that are going on, or we hear what's happening from the news, etc. And we can either feel a state of freeze, or fight, or fight or flight. Okay, so we can either be shocked by it, be overawed by it, we just want to get away from it completely, or we actually want to take it all in and do something about it, to try to convert that fear, that negative energy, into something more positive and meaningful. Now, what I'm saying to you is not easy. And I have to say that when the coronavirus pandemic outbreak happened, well, some time ago now, some months ago, but when it particularly became very apparent within the UK that this was going to be a real problem, and then we started to have briefings from the Prime Minister. That's when fear set in for me. Once I heard the first briefing from Downing Street by Prime Minister Boris Johnson. So then I thought, well, I could react in any other ways. But for me, the reaction was to freeze. And I'm normally a very active and dynamic person. I like to get on with things, get on with my life, get on with the work that I need to do for my clients, etc., the people I represent and support. But this actually did freeze me. And then did have a state of fear, worrying, very anxious, worried for myself, for my family, for my children, for my clients, everything. It just kind of hit me like a complete roadblock. And I'm just wondering, really, if you ask yourself now, what was your real, true reaction? I'm telling you this very clearly and honestly as a life coach, that this completely froze me. But then my reaction after the freezing was to then fight. Now, for some people, it may be just to withdraw and do other things, and I can't handle this. It's just too much for me. Whatever state you are in, it's really important to be within that state and to really try to get within it and try to understand how it's making you feel, and whether this is a positive feeling or it's a negative feeling. Is it making you feel good, blissful, or is it actually doing some harm? Is it actually making you feel even more worried? Is it actually exacerbating your anxiety? Is it generating stress, or is it contributing to more feelings of feeling down and depressed? So fear has all sorts of tentacles to it if we're not careful how to handle it. For me, from being in a state of being completely frozen, I then went, right, now okay, it's been a week now. I need to get out of this. I can't do my normal routines. I'm just completely, I'm watching the news every day and it's not good for me. So I decided to fight back. So I decided to only watch the government briefings. So for me, that was where I could get my information, and the information that was coming across was suitably factual for me to take it in and make my own judgments. And for me to withdraw from any other news media, I turned the notifications off on my phone, because normally I have news feeds coming in, but everything was about coronavirus and the fallout. So I just did that as a simple hack. But also, what I also did as well in terms of the actual fight back is I used a very simple NLP technique. Now, NLP stands for neuro linguistic programming, and it helps you, or it helps anyone, to be able to address their thoughts and their feelings through language, and to try to alter those particular feelings that are causing some kind of upset or some kind of damage or harm. And for me, the NLP technique that I like to use immediately, that I have at my disposal, is the anchoring technique. And what I do is, well, in terms of anchoring is basically a technique that you use to be able to take you away, to anchor yourself away from a particular negative feeling. So for me, I wanted to get out of this feeling of being frozen, fearful, frightened, scared, worried about the full impact of this coronavirus pandemic. So for me, my anchor are my knees. Now I can't show you now because I'm doing this video. But what I do is I just grip my knees, which I'm doing right now. And what I do is, as I grip them, this is my anchor for me to then to get myself away from this fearful, frightening situation that I feel that we are in. And I try to anchor away to a situation where I actually felt more confident. I felt unstoppable, and I felt super resilient. And for me, that would be a time, say, for example, in my professional career, where I achieved some really good accolades, awards, for example, or high positions and promotions in the past. So I would just think of that, if I can grip my knees and as my anchor, then maybe at the moment I can't see any hope, but I can probably see a future. I can see maybe more opportunity, as long as I understand the situation in a more objective fashion, and I try to overcome my fears, because fear is a perception. Okay, even though there is a reality out there that unfortunately people are getting sick from this virus, they are dying in huge numbers in the UK and all around the world. And obviously, I have to take this in some perspective, in the sense that, okay, it's not affecting me personally. I'm following all the government guidelines and regulations, and following all the rules around social distancing, and being very careful when I go shopping. Just do my once a day exercise and come straight home. So I still feel as though that particular situation that I'm in now is not my reality in the future. So if I anchor myself to the future, which is essentially about coming out of this pandemic, it will end. It's a temporary situation. We've probably been through longer, prolonged periods of agony, international agony, in terms of being part of world wars, etc. That those did come to an end, and we had conclusions, and then we moved on. I strongly believe that, and this is what I'm telling all my clients as well, because I'm reassuring myself as I reassure my clients, that we will get over this. We will overcome this. And it's about trying to realize that now. And for me, anchoring helps. And it'd be really good to get some of your feedback. If you want to just give me your feedback in the description box, or on a post, and just tell me exactly how it actually felt for you by doing this anchoring technique. Okay, thank you very much for listening to this pandemic conversation about fear, and a simple technique that you can use. So please do, if you are interested in more of the work that I do, I've got lots of free resources, self-help resources on my website, www.lifegenius.com. So until next time, take care.